Hey now, everybody. My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am here still reviewing the Mission Impossible franchise series. I am here to do MI2, Mission Impossible 2. This was a film directed by John Woo. What the hell ever happened to John Woo? Like, I can't remember the last time I heard his name as the director of a movie. This came out in the year 2000, and the plot is we see Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, and you see him, his basic plot is to stop this guy, the villain, who he wants to release this virus, or he actually wants to sell this virus that he has. So not only make money off of it, but create mass genocide. So Tom Cruise has to stop him. But not only that, he wants to save this woman played by Thandie Newton, because she's, of course, with the bad guy. So Tom Cruise wants to save her. Now, what I think of Mission Impossible 2 is, I looked online to see what the general consensus of all of these movies were, and a lot of people say that this is the weakest of the series. Hell, some people say it's just flat out bad as a movie in general. And I remember when I first saw this as a kid, I loved this movie. I thought it was awesome, it was badass, and it was one of my favorite action movies out there. Rewatching it, I will say that I still like it. I do. But I think I understand where people are coming from. I think I understand why this movie does get some hate. Let's look at some of this. Like Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. If you compare his character here to the first Mission Impossible movie, you almost wonder what the fuck happened. Like, how did he go from the agent that he was to now being a legit, like, badass action star? I mean, maybe it was just something that they were doing in the 2000s following up after The Matrix, right? Where everybody wanted to be a badass. Everybody wanted to be that action star. So maybe Tom Cruise was going through, I don't even want to say a phase, but he was going through his leather jacket, sunglasses, longer hair type phase. Because I do feel like this is the most unlike Ethan Hunt in the whole series. But that's still not to say that there's not some fun to be had with Tom Cruise. I still think he has a lot of fun moments, great one-liners, and he does damn near, if not all, most of his own stunts. Some of the action and the fighting here is awesome. It is a faster pace than the first movie. There is a lot going on. I love the chase scenes, the car scenes, the motorcycle scenes. There's a lot of stuff like that going on. So you have to give them that. Even if you think it's over the top, even if you think it's too far-fetched from what the first movie was, I still think there's fun to be had. If you think the plot is dumb, and I'm not going to defend the plot, I mean, because when I look at this plot and I look at this villain, and even when I look at Thandie Newton, this feels more like a James Bond movie than it does a Mission Impossible movie. At least I think so. Sure, you have your, the team. Ving Rhames is back as Luthor. I very much like him. He has some great scenes as well. And I love the moment where Tom Cruise jumps out of the helicopter and, like, runs down the building and infiltrates that. Like, those scenes feel the most like Mission Impossible. But you look at this villain. He's played by Douglas Scott, and he's not bad. In fact, I like him as the villain. He's animated. He's into it. I buy him as being this evil guy. Generic's not the right word, but as a villain goes, maybe there's not a whole lot to him. What I find the most fascinating about this actor is that he was scheduled, he was cast as Wolverine in the first X-Men movie, which came out in the same year. However, Tom Cruise handpicked this guy to be the villain in this movie. And so, I mean, I don't know if, can you really blame Tom Cruise? I'm sure he could have said no. I'm sure he could have said, look, I have this other thing going on. Or maybe what it really was is that he did this, and I think I read that the scheduling went too far over, and he had to drop out of X-Men, if that's what really happens, then fuck. Tom Cruise single-handedly destroyed this guy's career. I'm sorry, but look at how much Hugh Jackman has benefited from this guy's mistake. Either way, though, I do like him as the villain. A little Bondish, sure. Thandie Newton comes off very much like a Bond girl. She does. She's beautiful. She is. I can buy Tom Cruise's character eventually falling for her, but he does fall for her awfully quick, just as quick as like James Bond would as soon as he meets the Bond girl of the movie. So again, the parallels are there, but she's beautiful, so I get it. I like her. Even some moments where, like, I think her character's smart. It's not like I think she's a dumb character who's just here to be the love interest. But I do think they play up the love thing very hard. And it's a lot of slow motions when it comes to the two of them staring into each other's eyes. And it's a little cheesy. But I think I more so look at that this way because when you look at the rest of the series, where the fuck did this girl go? Like, where is this character? You built this whole movie up as Ethan Hunt falling madly in love with her and doing everything that he can to protect her and save her. And then the next movie, she's not even fucking mentioned. He's off with a new woman. So, franchise-wise, that bothers me. But oh well. I want to mention... of course, this is in the first movie. In fact, I believe this was like a staple of the Mission Impossible TV show where these agents can wear they can wear masks that are so lifelike, so real skin-like somehow, some way, that you get a lot of moments in these movies where this one especially where there's a lot of fake outs. There's a lot of scenes that leads you to believe one thing is going on, but it's really not. It's really somebody wearing a mask. And maybe once or twice you don't mind that because it's kind of cool. It's different. It's what's a part of the franchise. But this movie maybe overdoes it a little bit. I mean, there's one scene in particular that might be the least believable as far as how did the characters think enough to have the mask in their back pocket in order to make this work, but it's still a cool scene. So again, that I feel like I do that a lot in this review with this movie, is that there's a lot of cool moments, there's a lot of cool action, there's a lot of fun stuff going on here, but then if I sit down and think about it logically, you go, oh well, does that really work? So again, I have to remember though, I really enjoyed this when I was younger. I just thought it was badass and kick-ass. That might play into it. I do think maybe writing-wise, story-wise, it's not as strong as the first movie. I also want to mention how much I can't believe that the score was done by Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer currently is one of my favorite movie scorers right now. So seeing him so many years ago doing a movie like this, it's very unlike him, or at least how I know him. This score is very generic and very paint by numbers, just typical action film. There's nothing special about it. There's no stamp of that's Hans Zimmer compared to now. I mean, he's amazing now, or whatever. A paycheck's a paycheck. Anyways, guys, I do enjoy this movie. I don't want to pretend like I'm shitting on it. I like it. Maybe the weakest in the series, but I still have fun with it. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what do you think of Mission Impossible 2. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.